What's going on, everybody? Welcome to my little tutorial slash gear equipment guide that I brought for the new bosses to learn the fight. I have been soloing them. I did them about 3 times so far, and this is the gear that I've used to do it. I do it about 6 to 7 minutes depending on how I proc with all my stuff. So I basically bring full void, light bear for extra special attacks. These boots, Arania boots, are great. The Dragon Defender, I bring the Fang. If you don't have the Fang, any other melee weapon should probably do. The Amulet of Blood Fury, Ruby Dragon Bolts, Fire Cape, and the Void Melee Helm. And then I bring the respective switches, Void Mage Helm, Staff of Air, Dragon Crossbow, and then the Void Ranger Helm. And then a rune pouch for all the runes because I use Water Wave and Fire Wave for the elementals that spawn. They are weak to the respective elements, so they, obviously the water ones are weak to fire and the fire ones are weak to water, so they get hit with an AoE for 40 damage and wipe them out completely right away. You also need to use those spells to take out the flame line and the ice line that kind of block you in and hurt you if you're standing in it. And then, like I said, this is just to learn the fight. I'll bring more optimized stuff later on, but to learn the fight, there's 2 switches, range to mage to melee. Just 2 things you have to hit for each one, and then some restore pots, and then a full inventory of sharks and stuff. Makes it real easy, real nice, and then we're going to get into the fight here, which you'll see that I made a few mistakes, but it's still not as punishing as you might think, so don't be afraid to get in there and try it out for yourself. Alright, here's the fight starting. Okay, so we got the 2 waves that I was telling you about, fire and ice waves. You use water to hit the fire wave, and then you use fire to hit the ice wave. Now, I forgot to pray melee, but for this whole duration of the fight, I generally pray melee. It's just easier that way. Everything kind of hits with melee. The rocks seem to not hit too hard if you have melee prayer on. Haven't found anything else indicating what else to use for prayers, so I just stack melee the entire time just to be safe. When they go away, I will then switch to range real quick and go from there. And what I do solo too is I focus on the one at a time. That way it's quicker to switch the phases. And then here you can see me hitting the water ones with fire and then the fire ones with water, and they die right away with 40 damage. I'm clearing the path so I don't get stuck and killed, and making sure that I have a free path to run. Now the paths do block the minions, so if you get a nice lucky path, you don't have to worry about them. They will kind of disappear or despawn on their own. So you see again, there you go, water there, making sure I'm not dying. He comes in for the melees. I go in for melee because they are weak to melee, and just start hammering away as best I can, hitting those specs and everything too, making sure that I get as much damage in as possible. And there I didn't move, so you can see it still doesn't hurt me that bad because I didn't move from the ice wave. I still have one smacking me. They are melee damaging minions as far as I can tell, so they don't do any damage to me with the melee prayer up either. But it is just more of a nuisance. It's easier to just get rid of them than it is to not worry about them. And then, like I said, you don't always have to clear it until you get stuck, like right here. I'll kind of clear it and go from there again. This is my 3rd fight, so I'm a little chaotic, a little rusty, but I'm getting through it. They will phase at some point here shortly. Right there, they do phase into the 2nd phase, and this is basically the same thing. You have no more wave spawns, but you do have to stand in that thing, otherwise you will get hit by the AoE, kind of like Perilous Moons type of thing. You just stand in there, switch to range, and continue to attack the monsters. They spawn the minions, you clear the minions, or pray range, and they do that AoE on the ground as well. So I'm not sure what these moves are called. Again, this is my 3rd time just trying to figure out what's going on, and making sure I'm standing in that circle whenever it does pop up, and then switching to melee when I can for the better damage. So we are going to go ahead and smack this guy until he's done, and then after that we just have one more to focus on, and that kind of takes a little bit of time. But it's the same mechanics through the rest of the fight. You just have to, again, make sure you're standing on that, clear your minions, and go from there. Now it's real easy. I keep one of the elemental prayers on auto attack, and then I just switch to the one that I need when I'm done, and I always attack the ones that are on auto attack first. So that cleared him. He's no longer a problem. I switch to range and I switch to the other guy, and the fight remains the same. You just have to do it with a full health boss, and this fight took me about 6 or so minutes, so nothing too crazy. we might speed it up here, try and get it to go a little faster, and then we will see you guys in a minute. Oh, I'm stupid. Alright, so we're now coming up to the final bits of it. Again, the fight remained the entire time. I used maybe about half my supplies again, just because I made some mistakes. I didn't stand on the circle once. It hit me for about 46 damage, I think it was. And then, you know, not getting lucky with the crossbow or not praying into anything to help with the damage. I just kind of kept doing melee as best I can here. I ignored them and got the kill. And then we got, unfortunately, I don't think we got anything new here. I did get the Deadeye prayer on the first kill, so that was nice, but here I didn't get anything. And that's the fight. That's really all it is. It's all it takes. It's not hard. It does take a little longer solo, but you can do it solo. I would just recommend having a friend, because then you can burn through them as fast as possible, or find somebody who's waiting in line to partake. I hope you guys enjoyed. Hope it wasn't too bad for you, and we'll catch you next time.